Hey guys, what's going on? InsidiousSwede back again here for another YouTube video, and today I am bringing you my first impressions of Fire Force. Now, initially this is going to be a manga that I was going to pass on. I buy, so many series, I can't get everything, and I figured Fire Force would just be like one of those, but after seeing so many comments asking me to either buy it or review it, I finally decided to cave in and get it. So here I am today giving you guys my initial thoughts on Fire Force. So, what is this manga all about? Well, essentially the entire series is based around the concept of spontaneous human combustion. Regular, everyday people living their normal lives could, out of nowhere, for any other reason than bad luck, burst into flames, turning into these creatures known as infernals, and it is the job of the Fire Force to go around the city to hunt down these infernals to A, put them out of their misery, and B, to also stop the spread of fire from killing anybody else. So actually, considering it's a shonen series, it's a bit more of a dark concept if you actually think about it as a black and white kind of idea, but our series takes place around, of course, this aspect, but also our main character, known as Shinra Kusakabe. Now, Shinra Kusakabe is a very standard manga protagonist. I think that was probably the biggest letdown of this first volume. Without getting into too much detail, he has a very standard shonen backstory. He suffered a loss as a child because of this. He became distant with society and individuals and was kind of an outcast, looking to prove himself. Until now he gets older, he can do just that. Shinra is also special in the sense that he has a gift or superpower. In the same way that individuals can become unlucky and start turning into infernals, Shinra has the ability to control and harness fire into his feet, which make him run incredibly fast. So he's actually a regular person with superpowers along with everything else, and no, not every character in this manga has that ability. He's known as a Generation 3, whatever that significance means later on, I'm not too sure. And the last thing that really stood out to me with this manga was the world setting. This struck me right off the bat, if I can find a good picture, yeah. It's kind of like this not Victorian, but like Victorian slash steampunk era. I don't really know how to describe it, just a idea with a lot of detail in every little thing, again, in that steampunk kind of mold. I think that was a very big plus for me really early on. I just love the idea of that. But yeah, Fire Force, what do I think of it as a whole? I've decided to start giving my first impressions a rating. That way you guys can get a more definitive stance on where I'm at with a particular series or volume. So I give Fire Force Volume 1 a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's a very solid start to a new series, but I do not think that it was one of the better or best first volumes I've ever read. I love the natural character chemistry our Fire Force has. I think this is not something I normally talk about in a first volume, mainly because it's never very apparent. However, with this first volume, I think the team worked really well together. I liked how their personalities worked off each other, and to me that was just a very big positive. I also love the unique concept of the spontaneous human combustion, although I don't love our main character's backstory and certain elements about that. I do think the idea of the Fire Force and people, burning alive is actually pretty unique for the demographic. I also love how funny it is. There's a lot of good comedy in here. I found myself laughing a few times, which is always a positive. But for the negatives, I do feel it was a bit too standard of a shonen manga. As well as standard manga tropes, which we've seen, in this series and so many other series like it. And then also, I call these eye roll moments, quote-unquote eye roll moments. A big part of this series is our main character wanting to redeem himself for things that happened in the past, things that are out of his control. And a phrase he likes to utter a lot, or at least something similar, is, I want to be a hero, I'm here to be a hero, I need to be a hero, and I think he says that like a dozen times. I just saw it again. I think he says this like a dozen times in this first volume. I mean, I get it, it's important to emphasize character motivation, which is what it's trying to do, but when you're beating, us over the head with him wanting to be a hero, it gets very tiring very quick. And so that would be my quote-unquote eye roll moment, where sometimes I need to dial it back. I think a great example is My Hero Academia. The main character's perfect in the sense that we understand his motivation, but they're not shoving it down our throats every single chapter, whereas Fire Force is trying to drill it into your head. That's what's happening here. So again, these are small things. A 6.5 out of 10 is a very positive rating for a new volume. Normally it takes me a lot longer to give it anything above like an 8. So overall, I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you like the new rating system. If you want to get a better idea on what each individual number means, check out my community post I did on this. I have every single number correlating to a specific value or term. Like, for example, 10 is perfect, 9 is excellent, so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. But until next time, my name is InsidiousSwede. Take care.